Well, she's pointing. What is she pointing at?
She's pointing at me, I think. Not the bone.
Not the bone, but you. Well, boils and ghouls, it is my honor to be sitting next to an actor that I thoroughly enjoy, Edward Herrmann. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks.
Terrific, terrific. Of course, you ghouls out there will remember him best from The Lost Boys, of course, or Here Come the Munsters.
Yes,
indeed.
Here Come the Munsters. That was a one-off. Wonderful script. Had a great cast. Had a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing it.
Was it a challenge filling the shoes or?
Well, Fred Gwynn was a remarkable actor. I knew him a little bit. I can't say that I was very close. He had an apartment in New York and he had a place on Long Island. And he was a Harvard man and very, very intelligent and lived a quiet life. Did a lot of off-Broadway plays. He was a man of the theater, which endears him to me. And it's ironic that his two famous Car 54, Where Are You, and the Munsters were geared to an audience that he wasn't particularly, well, I wouldn't say comfortable with, but that isn't where he lived. He lived with, I don't know, Emerson and Thoreau and Plato, and he was a very, very intelligent guy.
Right. Now, speaking of audience, you know, Lost Boys, The Munsters, is horror a genre that you really enjoy, or?
I've never been drawn to horror as a genre. It scares me, but this script was so clever and so charming, and Joel Schumacher's a wonderful director, and I know Kiefer from Williamstown Theater Festival, and Barney Hughes, and the rest of the cast were friends, so this looked like a very hip movie to be in. So I embraced the horror genre because it was a lot of fun.
And yeah, it's a very fun movie and a classic, and I bet something that was just a blast to film.
And I had worked on stage a number of times, so I was very glad to work with her.
Nice. Now, I'm going to lose all of my horror credit right now, but I do have to say I love you in Gilmore Girls.
Didn't you realize that was a horror thing?
I guess I missed the undercurrent.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I had never done a series before, so I had known Kelly a long time, from the 70s when I got to the city, and we were delighted to work together, and all we wanted was a season out of it, and suddenly we had 7, which so it was a gift. And we worked at Warner Brothers, which is my favorite studio out there in terms physically. I think it's a beautiful place to work. So we had a great time.
And that just makes things even more enjoyable when you know the cast and crew had a good time making it.
And there's no downside if you do a horror movie. I don't consider Lost Boys particularly horror. I just think it's hip and funny, and a riff on a particular fairy tale. And that doesn't lower your street credit as an actor by any means. They all wish they had been in it.
Of course. And a character that you played a few times, which is FDR.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy playing that character? Is that maybe someone that you feel a connection with, or?
That was the first role that most people saw me in. I had done a number of films, and theater pieces, but this was a television piece that 74, 75, that at the time was the most honored television show in the history of television. And it was beautifully written, beautifully produced, ABC Circle. The script was fabulous, and most of the Roosevelts were still alive. The only one I didn't meet was Anna, who was too ill. And Ken Burns has done another film, a documentary on the Roosevelt family.
Oh, nice.
And Paul Giovanni, in fact, we're going to the opening tomorrow night. Paul Giovanni did the voice of Teddy. I did FDR. Meryl Streep did Eleanor. And it's a documentary, so it's not a full drama. But it's a remarkable family. family, and I'm a great fan of Roosevelt, and it stayed with me. I didn't want to do it again until John Huston asked me to do the musical.
Right.
So if John Huston asked you to do something, you take off your clothes and do it on your head. So.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
But he's a remarkable guy.
Now you've done theater.
Yes.
You've done film. You've done TV. You've done voice acting.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite, or do you enjoy them all equally?
It all depends on the script and the people you're working with. Television can be as artistically satisfying as any play, and you can drive yourself crazy in a play if you have to do it for 3 or 4 months and you get tired of the people you're working with and the play isn't all that good. And so,
right.
No, it depends on the material and who you're working with.
That definitely makes a huge difference. I'm sure a bad crew or cast could ruin a good script.
Walking into a cold sound stage, and you see some of the grips that you have to work with that day, and you think, most grips, most electricians, most best boys and prop guys and professionals are professionals, and there's a real simpatico that develops in a show that goes over 2 or 3 seasons.
Right.
So we had a wonderful cast and crew on Gilmore Girls. We had a great time.
Absolutely terrorific. And as my last question, is there a role that you would just love to play, maybe something that you haven't been able to do yet?
Well, I've never done a drug pusher. I did shoot somebody in a film called The Brass Target, and then I got shot. So I'd like to do Prospero in The Tempest. There are a couple of stage roles that I would like to do, but this business is so surprising that you really never know. I've been very satisfied with most of the work that I've done so far.
Well, and as I have said, I loathe it. I loathe it to pieces, and I look forward to seeing much more from you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any final words for the creeps at home?
Creeps, enjoy what you enjoy. Just don't hurt anybody, okay? Don't kill them for real.